So here's my little comfrey patch over here behind my little shelter Perry built for me. We first put this in, I don't know, about 7 years ago. And wherever you put comfrey, you better make sure that's where you want it, because you can never get rid of it. Even if you till it up, all you're gonna do is spread it around. Any little piece of root will produce you a new comfrey plant. So I think when we first moved here, I was researching just different things, you know, about being self-sufficient, and this seemed like a beneficial plant to have on the homestead because you can feed it to your animals. Not strictly, but you know, you can supplement with it. It's high in protein. It also, oh, what do you call it? Shoot, I can't think of the proper term. I don't know. The roots go really, really deep, and it can accumulate lots of minerals that other plants can't reach. Oh shoot, I wish I could remember that word or that term. Anyway, I'm gonna make some comfrey tea. It takes about a good 2 weeks, preferably a little bit longer, but just like everything else this year, I'm moving slow and a little late to the game. So anyway, when I was telling Perry about this plant, and actually when I first moved here, someone gave me a start and I didn't know what it was at the time. And it was right after that, when I started researching it, I was like, that's that plant that person gave me. And we had just moved in. I didn't know where anything was gonna go, and I ended up letting it die in a pot because, you know, I didn't know where everything was gonna go, and I didn't know where to put it. So Perry went online and bought me 4 pieces of root, about, I don't know, a couple inches long, maybe not even that. And I was really skeptical when I planted it, but I did plant one in a garden bed. I have one over here, and it will not go away. It was before I even had these beds. I had 4 railroad ties right here making a box and planted in it. That was like our first garden beds. And I had this plant in it, and we have tilled in here, and, or not tilled, but, you know, moved soil around when we put our raised beds in. And this comes up right along there, and then because Perry put these boards over top of this board, it's coming up through the crack. So I just pull it off and like use it as a mulch. I'll just throw it down in there. So anyway, don't put it where you don't want it to grow. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna cut this back to I'm gonna leave about 1 foot and put it in this barrel. I'm gonna kind of cut it up, put it in the barrel, and I'll show you what that looks like when we get it in there. this is all I ended up using was 2. Like, I cut them back. I really could have cut them back a lot more, but I really didn't need it. I even have one coming up right here, and I have cut this one all the way to the ground before, and it just still grows. You can add this to a compost pile to help speed it up, heat it up. So I have a pile, it's actually in a barrel, one of those ones that you turn. I was going to put some of the comfrey tea in that compost and see if that will help speed it up. So anyway, I'm going to let this get rained in for a couple of days, and then I will put a lid on it and let it sit for 2 weeks. And then I'll catch you back here. Good morning, guys. I am on my way up to the garden just to check on the comfrey tea that we made. It's been exactly 2 weeks today, and I'm sure it smells pretty ripe by now. We just mixed comfrey leaves with rainwater, and I think I threw in some beet leaves that I had in the garden after harvesting all the beets. I gave the chickens a bunch, I dried a bunch, and I had just a few left over. We have gotten so much rain. We weren't getting any rain, and then all of a sudden, storm after storm came in. Let me set these baskets down. Okay, let me turn you around here. Oh, my sunflower. It opened. This came up, and so I just let it grow. Here's the main one. They're so happy. They're such happy flowers. Okay, let's go check out the comfrey tea. All right, let's see what this looks like. Oh my goodness. The mosquitoes got in there anyway. Lovely. I guess this is not a very good seal. Oh yeah, it smells good and ripe. Let me find something to stir this with. Oh, that's not good. I'm gonna have to find something else. I had this with a lid, thinking it would be tight enough to keep the mosquitoes out. Woo-wee, this stinks. So you can let it sit up to a month, but at 2 weeks you can start using it. And I've heard many different ratios as far as how to use this. So what we did was filled this up with halfway, kind of packed down a little bit, not like crazy, but about halfway with comfrey leaves. You can use weeds. Like, I usually start off with comfrey, and then as I use it, I will add like weeds that I pull. I'll add more comfrey leaves as, you know, as they start growing back. I mean, check this out. So here's how much they've grown back in 2 weeks. So here's how much they've grown back. And this one gets beat up because Ellie's got to have her nose in every nook and cranny. So anyway, they've grown back quite a bit in 2 weeks. And it's been exactly 2 weeks. So what I really want to do, I think I mentioned this before, is get a good trash can that has a good tight lid, and then put a spigot on it, like above where the comfrey and everything would settle, and then a spigot to where the liquid can be, like I can put it in my watering can and do like a cup or 2 of the comfrey tea, and then fill it up the rest of the way with water, and then water all my plants and use that as a liquid fertilizer. And it's just giving back what the comfrey can accumulate from so deep in the ground. And then, you know, weeds, small weeds like this that are coming through the mulch, you can just pick them and then throw them in there, and you know, they're stealing stuff from the ground that your plants can be using. So it'll just give it back to the plants. So, and it's free, and we like free. Okay, I think this watering can is about a 2-gallon can. So I'm going to fill it up about a quarter of the way with the comfrey tea, and then I'll fill it the rest of the way with water. And this stuff usually sinks all the way to the bottom. Okay. There's already some rainwater in here, so I'm just going to leave that for my comfrey tea, and then I have some rainwater right here. This rainwater fell off the roof of my little shady rest, as Perry likes to call it. This little it's kind of a mess right now. But I think I'm going to cut that comfrey back one more time before I get my table back in here. Probably going to do that today. I'll just put that comfrey around some of my perennials out front. too full. Let's give this a little stir. Oh yeah, it's hard to do this one-handed. This is heavy. And then I'm just gonna, you know, give this to my plants. They probably don't need it right now since we got all that rain, but anyway, I just wanted to show you what this looked like after 2 weeks. I'm gonna put this lid back on, even though it didn't really help much. And it might be because it's sitting on this, railroad tie, and it's not sitting straight on the ground. But I may work on getting a trash can. I mean, that's down in there. It looked like to me it would work, but it apparently didn't. Well, I just wanted to bring you along and let you see how we are fertilizing our garden without buying fertilizer. Like I said, when I'm planting, I'll put a handful of all-purpose fertilizer, the granules that, you know, break down over time. And then the rest of the time, I'm either using fish emulsion or the comfrey tea. And I mean, the comfrey tea is free. So with Perry retiring soon, you know, we'll probably go lean more towards using the comfrey tea, because why not? I mean, that comfrey is an amazing plant. I can't even remember how far down the roots go, but they go far into the ground, and there's so many uses for it other than this. I mean, I use it, I make a salve for my arthritis. I rub it on my knees, and it's wonderful. You just don't want to get it on, you don't want to put it on any open wounds, because it will heal it too fast and it won't be healed inside, and you can get an abscess. So just be careful the way you use it. You just need to look it up, because there are multiple uses for it. Like I said, I mean, I'll feed it to the chickens. You know, I'll just break off a stem and throw it in there. Now and then, when I let them free range, they'll nibble on it sometimes. So it's just not gonna be like a food source that you would use every day or, you know, all the time, but just a way to get some good greens into them. They like it the best when it's young. When it gets bigger, it's a little bit prickly and furry. I don't know, but they like it when it's young. So we use it that way. I make that salve for my knees, and we use it in the garden for fertilizer. But I mean, it has even been documented to heal a broken bone. It's called a bone knitter, and if you make a poultice, it can actually help heal a bone. So, I mean, it's crazy. It's a wonderful plant, and I think everybody should have some. So anyway, thanks for following along with this video while I made our fertilizer for our garden. And if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and we will see you on the next one. Oh, my sunflower. It opened.